Hey guys, Spiritual Muse here to talk to you about another new moon. Tonight we have a new moon in Libra on October 8th. So we have the sun and the moon in Libra. So if you're a Libra, your birthday is probably soon or it's already passed. And we also have the moon in Libra at the same time. So when the new moon is in Libra, well, first of all, the new moon is a time when you want to think about things that you want to manifest into your life. It's the beginning of a new cycle, so it's a time to think about seeds that we're planting and the way we want the month ahead to go. So we have a Libra new moon. Now Libra is the scale, so it's all about balance, and balance comes into play a lot during this new moon. You want to think about how you can find balance in your life this month. And we're also at fairly much at the beginning of the month, so see where you're at, by the end of the cycle at the next full moon. So the main themes of this are your relationships. So you want to think about how your relationships are. You want to think about how you show up in your relationships, specifically thinking about how you show up for other people, not necessarily how they show up for you, but focus on yourself and what you can give to others and what you can bring to the table. And maybe where you've been lacking in those areas in any type of relationship in your life, whether it's a romantic relationship, a friend relationship, or if it's a work relationship, or any other type of relationship out there, family. Do you need to create harmony with those you love or those you have to deal with? So is there anybody that you really love that you feel a little bit of discord with? Or is there anybody in your professional life that you have to deal with that you find it a little bit difficult to deal with? This is going to be a good time for you to smooth things over with that person and to make things really, really good with your loved ones as well. So you want to think about cooperation, not competition, and you want to think about working together with other people. It's more about giving right now than taking, and you want to think again about how you're showing up in your relationships. If you have any negotiations you've been wanting to make, work on them now. It's a really good time for that. It's a good time for a business venture because it's a very balanced time when people really want to work together and everybody is kind of working towards that goal in general. So it's a good time to work on balance in other areas of your life as well. So you want to think about balance within your body. So how are you in terms of balance with food? Are you eating, the right things that make you feel good, that give you energy? Or are you eating things that are bogging you down and making you feel sluggish? On top of that, are you exercising enough? Are you doing the right types of exercise for your body? How is your balance with food to exercise ratio? Good questions, right? So important to think about balance and think about maybe manifesting and beginning a new exercise routine or a new, not a diet per se, but a new sort of lifestyle around food at this new moon. It's a great time to implement those sorts of things. And this Libra new moon will help you with that. Really try to agree during this time rather than argue. So if you're speaking to someone and you seem to just be like head to head about an issue, try to find some common ground that you can agree on, because generally there's a little bit of something you can agree on and then you can work from there and have a more civil discussion rather than a screaming match. So in general, if you have any issues with somebody, try to find some common ground to find that balance that you can really work from. Because if you're both just like saying the things that you think and neither of you is going to go along with that right off the bat, but try to find something that you can agree with and then start from there. Make sure you're not blaming others for events in your life or relying on anyone too much. So I think a lot of us have a tendency when something goes wrong, we don't want to point the finger back at ourselves. We want to say, well, this event in my life made this happen, or, because of this, I am this way. But those are just stories that we tell ourselves. So try to really, really just take control of your life and accept that some things just happen. It's not anybody's fault. And in some cases, maybe you made a mistake, but that doesn't mean you have to really, put yourself down for that, because some people do that too. You'll just constantly make yourself feel guilty. You'll think about it at night. You're tossing and you're turning. Well, just let it go. All right, it's a great time to just let it go before this new cycle. Just move on and start fresh. Really focusing on balance, right? So if there's anybody in your life that you're depending on too much for anything, so maybe it's the other side of the coin where you just think somebody is fantastic, you're depending on them so much, maybe you've even lost yourself a little bit inside of the relationship, then really focus on figuring out who you are and getting back to your own roots. It's a great time for that right now. We also have Venus in retrograde, which is, kind of an interesting time. A lot of us forget about taking care of ourselves. Again, going back into thinking about yourself and what you need. So you want to take some time for self-love. Really intentionally take some time, because it's a good time to really focus on that. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but it's the challenge that I have for you. So really try to focus on self-love during this new moon. We also have a square to Mars, which is going to make for some excitingness in relationships. It could be, a fight that turns into wonderful lovemaking, or it could be just spur of the moment, crazy, you had a really wonderful night kind of thing. So it could really end up in some interesting stuff for romance. Maybe you meet a brand new person and you just click because everything about you guys is just so balanced. Totally possible during this new moon. We also have the moon in Libra, which is square to Pluto, and that's going to bring a lot of rebirth, transformation, and there's sort of a Kali energy, so she's the goddess of death, so there's a little bit of destroying that has to come before rebirth, so things can get a little bit shaken up at this time, but it's all going to turn out okay. You have a big change coming in one way or another, so really prepare yourself for that during this cycle. It's a good time to detox, again, getting back to the health thing. So think about what you're putting into your body, what you're doing with your body physically. Are you moving enough? Because if you create stagnant energy, that can also really mess with you as well. Let go of anything that you're holding on to. Yeah, really, really important time. Before you can get anything new in your life, you have to let go of the things you've been clutching to. And it really isn't helpful to anyone for you to hold on to things. You might feel like harboring resentment is helpful, but it's not. It doesn't do you any good. It only poisons you. At this time, the ego is going to be a little bit powerful. So try to meditate and tone down the ego. I mean, I feel like I say that in pretty much all of these videos. It's always a good time to meditate, get back to yourself, getting back to your roots again, as I said before, and just really listening to your higher self rather than your ego. The moon is conjunct Ceres, which is the virgin goddess. This is going to represent independent women, family connections. It's going to be a time where your femininity is going to shine. You're going to want to nurture, but don't forget about self-love. That's really important during this moon, especially with the Venus retrograde, is really try to spend some time giving yourself some good old-fashioned self-love. Whatever that may mean for you, just do things that feel good for you. This is also going to be attractive to a potential or current partner, this nurturing nature that you're going to feel. So especially if you can nurture yourself and give yourself some self-love, it's really going to shine through, and you're going to look more balanced physically, and that's going to really shine through when you're really following your bliss. People will see that, and they'll find that to be very attractive. So that could attract a mate. Seems like a new moon where it's really possible, even with the Venus retrograde, to really find some good companionship. Might just be a best friend, might be a lover, who knows. Maybe you'll reconnect with someone. We also have the moon quincunxed to Neptune. So this is a time when you really need to believe in yourself to manifest your dreams. So if you don't believe the things that you are saying you want will happen, they're not going to happen. So this is really a challenge to your own self-image of yourself. So really believing that you can do all that you say you want to do rather than just speaking about it. Take steps toward it. Make it happen. Instead of saying, oh, I really wish, I was this way, and I really wish that I went out and I did these things that I want to do. Well, do them. What's stopping you? Just go do them. You can even look into a mirror and say different positive affirmations day by day in order to build up that self-confidence. If you have a lower self-confidence and you have trouble feeling like you can manifest your dreams, then try positive affirmations every morning, every evening, whenever it works for you. Both times a day would be fantastic. And focus on your health again. That's a big theme of this new moon, is focusing on your health. We also have 2 fixed stars, 38 Bootis, which is Murga, the chained woman. So we have another sort of female archetype in here. And this represents occult abilities and female power. So women are going to really be coming into their own at this time. So that's going to be something, again, that's always very attractive to people. So maybe if you're really getting in touch with that energy, kind of unchaining yourself, then people are going to flock to that, and they're going to love that authenticity and that naturalness that you have inside of you. Then we also have Beta Voltanus, which is a flying fish, which represents femininity and artistic pursuits. So the feminine has this, connection to water, and this connection to the subconscious, and this connection to sort of these dark and beautiful things that people don't always completely understand. All of the beautiful cycles of life, the recycling of the female menstrual cycle, all of those things. So this kind of strange darkness that's kind of unbelievable, almost supernatural, is coming up through these fixed stars in this new moon as well. So it's going to be a really interesting time for connecting to the divine feminine at this time on this new moon. So ladies and anyone that wants to connect to the divine feminine, this is a great time to get in touch with that part of yourself and to do some creative pursuits. Whatever your heart is drawn to, follow that bliss. People will love it. They will join you. If they see you doing it, you'll inspire them. So it's a really great time for that. So in an overview, real quick, I don't want to go too long. So we have this Libra new moon, which is always all about balance, and a new moon is about manifestation. So you want to focus on manifesting positive relationships, cooperation, a positive relationship with yourself. Work on that self-love during this Venus retrograde. Focus on health. What could make you feel healthier? Just take small steps. Anything is better than nothing. So you don't have to take a giant leap, although that Pluto influence is going to really help and bring about a lot of transformation. So we have a lot of transformation happening. We also have a strong link to the divine feminine, women, and our artistic side. So really get in touch with that during this new moon too. I hope you guys will manifest everything that you want during this new moon and more. So blessed be, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I accept all of this or something better into my life at this new moon. As I say, so mote it be. Blessed be. Love you guys. Thanks again for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Come back next time. Let me know if there's any other videos you'd like to see. Love you guys.